What's up, people of the living God? I came in 1 minute early to see how many of you all gonna jump in the spot, and you all was in here. Thank God for each and every one of you already up here in the flame. Mary Cooper in the flame. April Holloway in the flame. Alice Albritton in the flame. What's up, my folks? God bless you all. Kelly Alexander didn't have to give me the eyes today. Jump in January in the flame. January 9th. Y'all go ahead and start getting some prophetic revelation about January 9th. We're in the month of jump in January on our way to flash February. And then we're going to tap right into Miracle March. Lois Wilson all the way in Vegas in the flame. Rochelle, Rocky Mount in the flame. Miss Cheryl Walls, Dr. Walls, cousin. The psychologist cousin in the flame. Ashley Young in the flame. Thank God for you, Ashley. Flora, I'm telling you right now, you and I are making the senior citizen look different with this technology. Keep doing what you're doing, Flora. I'm loving it. In the flame. Karen Wheels in the flame. What's up, KW? I'm gonna call you that today. KW, Karen Worship. How about that, Karen? Jacqueline Food Truck in the flame. Jacqueline Slater, good afternoon from North Mississippi, Hotspotters. So you went on the road this weekend, Jacqueline? Y'all want you to be safe out there now. Nancy in the flame. Y'all are up here. Joyce Moses in the flame. What's up, Joyce? Give Cheap, look, go ahead and tap Cheap on the head for me. Kelly Madonna in the flame. Mary Cooper in the flame. You got that right, Mary. It's day 154 in God's hotspot. Lisa Underwood, thank you for being here, Lisa in the flame. Carolyn Hathon, what's up, Carolyn in the flame? Yes, y'all in here. Can you get this chill, mom? Can you get this chili, mama? What Cheryl, what are you talking about? Food? I like it, Jacqueline. Let's go. All the way in North Mississippi. You go ahead, Jacqueline. In the flame. I want you to get it hot there, Jacqueline, in North Mississippi. Hillary, what's up, Hillary? Happy Super Spreader Saturday. You know you came up with that identification of Hillary. It's a Super Spreader Saturday, and you all need to share it with at least 3 people right now. And I see we got 30 in 3. That's what I'm talking about. We got 30 folks in 3 minutes in the flame, standing on the blood of Jesus. So go ahead and share. That's what the Super Spreader Saturday is all about. We need y'all to spread the fire so somebody can get healed today. I feel a miracle. I think I felt a miracle chill run through my body then, Cheryl. Yes, Francie Grady in the flame. How you doing, Francie? Francie, put in there. Let me know how you're doing. Day 154, Lords. Day 154. Get a revelation. The one and only revelatory Aretha Wakes in the flame. Come on, Aretha. Hey, Classy Washington in the flame. Pensacola, Florida. Thank you for putting where y'all are from. You know what? Y'all need to start doing that too. I like that. Putting where you're from. Yeah, I need to pass. I'm in here all the time. Still put where you're from. It can turn out to be minister to somebody when you put in there where you're from. Amen. Damon, Angela Summon Walker. Damon in the flame. So y'all see Angela there. That's Angela's wife. Damon's wife. She went to be with the Lord a year ago last month. Faithful sheep of victory in the flame. Damon, I hope you're doing well today. Regina in here. McDaniels in here. Okay, Regina in the flame. Yes, Super Spreader Saturday. Not just look, Regina, Super Spreader. You know why? Because we serve a supernatural God in the flame. Let me see. Alice, Miracle Signs and Wonder Albritton in the flame. Lord said, I've done 20 squats already. Okay, Lord, you gonna mess around and get back to your teenage years. You keep doing them squats now. You all know we're spending this first 90 days doing something proactive and keeping it moving in the flame. Monique Slaughter in the flame. We're praying for you, Monique. Hey, my brothers and sisters, kings and queens. I like that greeting there. I love that, Monique. Amen. Lisa, thank you for putting where you're from. Durham, North Carolina. Yeah, God may give me something prophetic for the area that you're in. You got that? For the area that you're in and how he's moving in that area. So thank you for putting that there. So y'all go ahead and put that under your names today. Let's just see how that flows. Where are you from? Lisa, all the way in Durham, North Carolina. That's all right. Charlene Grace in the flame. Hey, Charlene. Appreciate you and your faithfulness. Yes. Let me see. I think I done called everybody up. Nope. Gloria. Gloria always heal Toka in the flame. Yeah, we thank God for you. Dr. Mary Lewis Battle in the flame. Thank you, prophetess, for being with us today. Good. Mr. Tommy Newman in the flame. How you doing, Mr. Newman? Glad to have you in here, hanging out with us today by the grace of God. It's a good day. Joyce Moses, Gulfport, with a laughing face. Really, Joyce? You know you from Buckaloosa, Louisiana. That's where you were born. In the flame. Talking about Gulfport. But I know you live there, Joyce, by way of the military. Joyce, I got your hometown right, too. Buckaloosa, Miss Louisiana, something like that. I'm sorry, like Ebonics now. I might need to leave that alone. Okay. Hey, let me see. Angel in here today. How you feeling today, Angel? In the flame. It is Saturday, you all. Yes, it's the 9th day of the year 2021. Kelly, today is 154. It equals 10. Okay. Add today's date together and it's 10. Today is double testimony. Quadruple favor. Okay, go ahead and prophesy. Grace Saturday. Come on, Kelly. That's what I'm talking about. Release it in the atmosphere. Amen. Super spreader Saturday. You got to share it with 3 people now. Spread it. You want to spread what the Lord is doing in the hotspot. You want to spread this habitation. This is not a visitation in the hotspot anymore. It's a habitation by the grace of God. So go ahead and spread that with somebody. Let me see. Okay, Jacqueline, I came to rescue my niece's children to keep them from being homeless. Wow, Jacqueline. Yeah, wow. Well, Jacqueline, let us know what you need now. So you got rescued 3 of my niece's children to keep them from being homeless. Headed back to the coast in the morning to start this journey. Pray for me, y'all. We got you in prayer, Jacqueline. We got you in prayer. Y'all, I definitely want us to pray for Jacqueline. Thank you for taking on that responsibility. I see you, Brenda. Thank you for putting in there Ocean Spring. Brenda Terrell. Praise God. Mary Cooper puts you some Rocky Mount. Angel said, I'm in the 504. You know you hood, Angel. Nolans. Yeah, no. Dolores preaching bass in here. Cheryl, I call your name out. Cheryl Walls. All right. Terrence Mobley. Lee Ernest. Man, we got Tina Lunchtime Miracle in here, all the way in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. Dr. Freeman, Little Rock, Arkansas, her hometown, by way of Little Rock, and also hanging out in the Gulf Coast. Thank you, Dr. Freeman, for being in here. All right, Priscilla. Have you left your Priscilla? Did you make it home safely for your grandmother's funeral? I pray that you did. Amen. The 504. That's what I'm talking about, Angel. Well, look, it's a great day. I'm glad you all in here. We got 50 folks in here already. It is 12:08. 8 is the number for new beginning by the grace of God. James is working today. Reginald McCarter, what's up, cuz? Thank you for being in the flame. Amen. Okay, Cheryl, call it again, Prophet. I'm available. Okay, in the flame. I love the comments y'all are putting in here. Go ahead and super spreader Saturday. Spread it with at least 3 people that you want to be impacted by what we're sharing today, as well as those that are putting the hashtag people names in the flame there. Jesse Douglas, Minnie Knight, Shantae Jones, hashtag, and we're going to be praying and moving and flowing. Well, look, day 154. God is judge. I'm going to revisit that. Can y'all believe we've been here 154 days? But look, with the way things are now with this pandemic, we're in 2021. It has caused a shift in the way we worship, and it's called a shift in our lives. And on today, how we do things and how we produce things and how we organize things, it makes a big difference. And you got to surround yourself with people that know what they are doing. And that's what I've done. I'm surrounding myself with a team of people in both places, Morning Star and Victory. And I thank God for both of you. So today I got with me the producer himself. I'm going to bring him up here, another part of my dynamic family. This is the husband of my daughter, the one and only Low Battle. What's up, Battle? Low Battle.
Sometimes you gotta bring your own applause, dog.
Let me hear that again. Let me hear that again.
I bring my own people with me.
Hey, Listen, y'all, this is the producer himself, the man that works behind the scene, but
Yeah.
always out front, some way or another.
Hey.
This is my son-in-law for people that don't know him. He is married to my phenomenal daughter, Jamina McCarter Ballard. They have produced two wonderful grandkids that I love dearly. I got five. My son and his wife got three, and they have two, Atiana and the one and only Caden. But appreciate you hanging out with me today to talk about production and technology. What you got on your mind?
Hey, man. Number one, I'm glad to see you rolling with this StreamYard the way you're rolling, Doc.
Hold 1 minute. I'm gonna get in trouble if I don't do this right here. Hey, Natasha. Natasha in the flame. Ha, gotcha, Natasha. Look, look, this is
Yeah,
the man that showed me how to use the stream yard. Go ahead. Go
man.
ahead.
Yeah.
Go
So
ahead.
I'm really happy to be here, man. I'm super excited, like I said, to see your growth with the technology over the year. Man, it's just good to know that the message is getting out the way it needs to. And in today's time, we understand that you need to be able to hear the truth more than ever.
Like that.
so so you coming on every day, man, is good. Is it makes my job exciting, and I'm really just fortunate enough to. I think we've been together like what 20 something years now, man.
20 some years. How long you and my daughter been married? How many years it's been? What?
Oh man, it's almost we almost at 20. We got married in 2003.
Uh-huh.
So we coming up on it. Last year was 17, so this
Right,
year will
right.
be 8.
So I've
So
been know
we've
yeah,
been
I'm trying to think. Yeah, yeah. I've been knowing you about that long. You
Yeah,
been
I met you when I was 20. I had just turned 20, and
okay.
I was getting ready. And matter of fact, I joined that December after coming to Victory, and man, it's been history ever since, dog. We've been rolling.
Oh yeah, you definitely been rolling. I've seen you grow tremendously, and of course you come from a phenomenal family, man. Love your mom and dad, and just how they
Shout
raised you. Yeah, you got to holler out to your mom and dad now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bishop
you know,
Ballard and the mother Ballard.
the praying ballad. Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, let me get it right. Mother praying Ballard.
That-
Don't get that twisted.
I tell people all the time, man. Everybody says, "Man, how can you do so much stuff?" And a lot of times, people really don't know the backstory. My mom, every day of my life, used to anoint my hands, anoint my head, and used to speak over me every day. Like I used to hate going to school with that oil spot, like right here. But she would make that cross right here on the middle of my forehead every day before I left the house.
And speaking tongues in the process, right?
Hey,
Speaking.
oh
Look,
yeah, I was getting it all. She was covering
look,
covering me with everything, man. So it was one of those things where, I didn't understand it then, but then looking back, over life now I see why, a lot of the things God trusted were because of her prayers in me. So, you know.
well, and I just wanted to say that because I appreciate the young man you are. So look, you all, we got the producer himself. A lot of the things you see produced in our church here in Mississippi, as well as the church in Rocky Mount. Since I've been pastoring there, you all did up here from Rocky Mount. This is the man I call the producer, working behind the scenes, but always in the front. Because what you see projected, a lot of time he's the one handling the sound, the video, and that didn't happen overnight, though. I want people to know that didn't happen overnight.
And that's
What?
why I said the 20 years, because a lot of times people don't understand the value of staying rooted and grounded. I think
Mhm.
one of the things I've always been able to say when it came to our relationship was, number one, it was so dimensional, multi-dimensional. I was dating your daughter. I was also a member of your church. You were also my pastor. And then you and I developed our own relationship where we genuinely became friends. And out of all of those, they just kind of watered and nurtured me in all of the ways, as well as protected me. Because there were times, you would tell me things like, I had a great idea, or I thought it was just going to be the next game changer, and you would say, let's slow down, let's go here first, let's just test it. And it taught me timing and seasons. And when you are in position and you have talent and you have a lot of zeal, if you don't have somebody, it's like fire, right? My mother,
Mhm.
I grew up in a house where we had a gas stove. My mother didn't let us use the stove because we didn't know how to manage the fire. It wasn't that the tool was dangerous, it was our inability to understand how to gauge what was inside of that stove. And it was a lot like that with the talent that I had in me. And I thank God that He placed me with you, because a lot of people, a lot of leaders, they'll take the nozzle and they'll just let it go, or they'll
Right.
take it off, instead of teaching you how to gauge your what's inside you, that fire that's inside you, that zeal, that talent. And when you look over 20 years, it's really no time at all, because I feel like I just got the victory. But when you start looking back over some of the things we've done,
Yeah.
I understand the process of being with a good leader.
And I appreciate your faithfulness and your obedience, especially in the times we live in now. It is so important to have just guess unconditional relationship, because if there's anything the
Right.
enemy is going after, it's relationship. Now, I appreciate that, but I also want people to know you all that are here in God's hotspot. Want to continue to encourage and empower people. I brought this is my son-in-law. For those that do not know, don't know that, I see my daughter just put in the hey dad, hey producer. Just got off my
Yeah.
sorority meeting, but I made it in. Amen. Yeah, I know she wasn't looking like anything. You might want to have her to peep her head in here, before it's over with, if you feel
She
like it,
she she,
Hey,
she gonna have to start getting ready now, because that's your daughter, man.
but people, I wanted my son-in-law to come. Aloysius Low Ballard, we call him. We call him Low. He's also our worship pastor, creative pastor. Let me think. Uh,
I'm the church's Swiss Army knife. Whatever, I carry a bunch of tools depending on what's needed.
Man. So he's a minister also, can teach and preach the word of God also.
Yeah.
But I wanted him to come and talk about from a production perspective. After this pandemic, and I'm going to be preaching about it tomorrow. Y'all, you don't want to miss tomorrow. I'm still preaching beyond the mask, but tomorrow I'm going to preach my house is blessed. You don't want to miss that.
Yes,
And
sir.
it pushed us into our houses, and you made sure that the production was going across plain. Would you say now that production is definitely a part of worship now with the pandemic? You think it's going to go back to what it was like before?
I honestly, I do not think anything that we had prior to the pandemic is going to be remaining after this.
Right.
Um, and to a lot of people say, oh man, I just want to get back to church, I just want to get back. Community is always something that we'll always have. I'm not speaking necessarily to the point of us not having community. We'll always have community and that need to gather and be together, but we have also gone through a year of using technology,
Mm-hmm.
which has caused you to listen more, be
Mm-hmm.
more attentive, to actually get out and be active. And when you look at the way trends go within it, I'm not even looking at myself. I'm looking at the results of what my children and this following generation is doing. Now they have like successfully managed how to use the internet, how to use platforms like this, to digitally commute and be together and still tap in. I think the thing that made people struggle the most in this pandemic was not knowing how to bridge where they were and where we are today. But
Okay.
now, with platforms like you got to think you've been doing this. What did you say, like
This
154?
is day 154.
So 154.
Right.
Think about that. Like, that is almost a full year. Like, you're
Wow.
on pace to do a full year of communicating worldwide. Now, you're right. I am your producer. I produce all of your stuff.
Right.
I look at the numbers, I look at the things. Your engagement has gone, I would say, 1,000% up.
Wow.
And if I would put you in a church building, 154 days straight, your engagement would not be what it is online, based on the fact of the things that we deal with every day. You got to,
Yeah.
people, oh, I got to pack up and get there. I got to do this. And to be honest, with the way we work in in our society and our culture, people, the pandemic was really a good thing because it made people sit down and recharge. People aren't as tired as they once were. People have more clarity. People couldn't get out and do a lot of the things that we as a community and a culture would normally do, that would cause us to spend more money, do these things. So I see it as a means of us, like, just adjusting our infrastructure. You know, when you look at the children of Israel, just to bring it into some biblical
Mhm.
examples,
Right.
they function in Egypt was not how they function in the desert. There were no, like, the tribe system was a very exclusive formation for them,
It's
because
good.
when you become freed of the things that normally bond us down, that keep us in bondage, work, requirements, I got to do this, I got to do that. When we sit still and we become free of those things, and now God says, I can instill my methods, my will, my way. It becomes very successful. It gives jobs. When they went in the desert, everybody had a job that had a purpose. You taught us this. The tribe of the Levi had a job. Benjamin had a tribe,
Mhm.
like, job. Everybody had something that they were destined to perform and do on a day-to-day basis. And I think that's what God is doing now. He's saying, hey, man, instead of getting up complaining about people not showing up to church, I'm going to revamp this thing. I'm going to do it a different way. It's going to
Yeah.
do it a method where, we can tap in, we can use technology, we can use laptops, phones, or whatever, and get the message out to the entire body where nobody is lacking.
So as a producer, again, you all, I want y'all to understand the fullness of who this gentleman is. Again, as a producer, a production guy, um, this who has kept me on course and made my life a whole lot easier. Anytime you see things being pushed out, you see where it's clear. Especially the sound and the picture. I got equipment here that he's set up to make sure, and I'm getting even better at this, because you got to have somebody in your life. And I know we've been blessed by having you in our lives. Got to have somebody in your life that can show you where God is going as far as production, not just in the church, because pretty much we're in our houses now.
Now,
And go ahead. Go ahead.
let me jump in right there,
No, go
because
ahead.
yeah, this is an aspect that you never really hear pastors really address.
Okay.
Um, but ever since I've been with you, you've always kept an open mind about the things that I see and the technologies that I say, hey, we need to invest in this area. We need to start going here. Like I told you, we're looking at developing apps where we don't have to rely on anybody. We can push out our own content. We can have our own conferences. We can do all of these things that allow us to have ownership and the final say about what we do and create. Because truthfully, when you look at anything that God has done or puts together, there's always ownership. There's always a means for you to be able to handle whatever is being distributed. And like, if you were a pastor that
Hold it right there for me. Hold it right there for me.
go ahead.
Reginald, he just asked what was my cash app. It's $ Carlton 888. I was about to ask the producer what was my my cash app. I knew he knew it. I've almost forgot it.
Yeah, I'll
$Carlton 888. Jamina, put that in there for me for my cousin Reginald McCarter. I appreciate that. But go ahead. Sorry about interrupting you,
no, that's
producer.
good.
Look,
We flow,
look,
man.
I want y'all to ask some production questions also. We don't
Yeah.
want to miss this moment. And technology. Now, he's just talking about camera. But my son-in-law, Lohi, is also an expert in Apple products. And not just Apple, any type of computer stuff. This is the time to ask the question. All right, go ahead. I had to get that in, man.
Yeah. So, and we can definitely shift to that, but I just
Yeah.
want to, applaud. Like, there's some people out here that may watch this. I know you have some leaders on here.
Mhm.
They're you allowed me to grow and cultivate is my point. When I first came, I was very rough around the edges, man. I really didn't know what to do. I tell everybody, I never forget, when I got into audio engineering and I tried to cut that commercial for the church when I was there. And you were so supportive. You said, yeah, that's good. What's all that crackling in there? And I said, oh man, my computer is it's old and slow. I can't really do what I need to do. And I never forget, we got in your car and we drove to Cowboy Mahoney's. That's what it was back then. And you bought me a Sony computer. You said, give him whatever he needs to do what he needs to do. And you've always supported me. And and people always ask me, why do you haven't you moved from Mississippi? Why, people give you
Yeah,
opportunities.
you could be doing so much. Right. Yeah.
But I always felt connected to everything that my career was able to bloom and blossom into. It always came back to my roots at Victory. And that has just always been my thing with us, is that I always felt like it was rooted. I was meant to be rooted and grounded there so that I could flourish. Shifting back to technology, a lot of people now are looking to start their platform, start a podcast, start their own, version of whatever you want to talk about
Let
online.
me do this too as you're talking. I
Yeah,
want folks to know, because as a producer now, we're not just talking about producing shows and videos. Lo also is a producer for people. He has a business where he brands folks also,
yeah.
helping me with my brand. I want to make sure we get all that in. I mean, y'all looking at a gift here. I think that so he's gonna be kind of modest about it, but I'm gonna wear him out today.
Hey
It's
man,
your day, and I'm gonna let you have it. But go ahead. I mean, have worked with all kind of folks and very
yeah.
humble about it. So if you need branding, if you need come on, help me out with something. I'm about to pay your wife to come in to help me out.
Hey man, well, she sells me better than
Yeah.
anybody.
You might need to tell her go and throw on one of them wigs and come in here before we go. Go ahead.
But yeah, man, once again, Beyond Expectations Productions,
Yeah,
full
come on.
digital creative agency. We've worked with, Beyonce, Parkwood, Destiny's Child,
Sure did.
Hollywood Confidential, Sony, Entertainment, E1 Entertainment in Nashville. Like, we've been fortunate to do a lot of things.
Put the
I'm very
wig on, Jamina. Go ahead.
and and like I said, it I've been able to learn a lot from some of the most influential people in the industries, and no different than like what we're looking at with your branding and things like that. I'm always pushing the family and anybody connected to us to really get out and understand that you have something to offer when you recognize what your value is, which is why I stay on you all the time, because I'm like, ever since I've been with you, everybody always says, man, I love talking to Pastor McCarter. I love when he just has conversations. And I used to tell you, stop giving it away for free, man. Like, look, this the producer right here. I'm telling y'all right now, we gonna move the Hotspot to the app, and you're gonna put that $5.99 in there. We doing some things this year, man.
This is producer, amen.
Hey,
And to be a part of your network. Now tell them you also got a network that you're producing. Your network.
yeah,
Tell them about your network.
we just launched the BEPS network, BEPS network, and
And
what it
tell them
is
what does that stand for again?
Beyond Expectations Production Studios.
Okay.
Yeah, I took that from a sermon. God gave me that name from a sermon you preached years ago.
400
Um,
years ago.
yeah. When you were still climbing over chairs and stuff, man. When Mullah
Okay.
let
Right
you do
now.
that kind
Okay.
of stuff.
Let's stop going. Tell
Yeah,
them.
yeah. Yeah. So we started that network with creatives in mind. If you look at the trends today, what you see is ownership. Netflix, Amazon, YouTube, Facebook, all these platforms, they're using people's content to generate billions of dollars. But
Mhm.
what you
Now
notice,
tell the people what you mean when you say using people content.
so like Facebook now is benefiting from you being on their platform. right?
Okay.
So
Uh-huh.
they're not paying you anything. You've done 154 days of work and they're not paying you for it.
They ain't
But
paid
they
me nothing.
benefit. Now check this out,
Okay.
because every person that watches this video or does something, they learn something about them. They say, hey, they stayed on the platform for an hour and something for every day. Look at these numbers, and their numbers are peaking and doing well, and they're benefiting from it, but they don't pay the creator.
Oh, 1 minute. I'm reading comments. I love the flow. Sit down somewhere, Ari. Told me I missed that bishop climbing over some more chairs. Okay, Ari. That's all you want to do is have church. I'm gonna tell your mama on you. She's up here. That's one of our spiritual sons. But
Yeah.
people are loving the information right now. But keep going. So go ahead, Brandon.
So how it works is, really all it is traffic. Advertisers pay for traffic. So when you can hold, I don't care if you can hold 100 people, there's somebody with a product, somebody with some information that they want to get to that demographic. They are willing to pay to get their ad in front of that group. So when you start thinking about that, content creators just look at views, likes, and shares, but that's ego driven. That's not you getting compensated for your work. And this is what I'm trying to help us as a community to move more into ownership. And when I say ownership is, hey, if you want this content that I'm creating, if you want to see the product of, if you enjoy the hotspot, and we
Mhm.
know that a lot of you do, because I look at his numbers.
My producer now. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I look at the numbers. I say, hey, we can do more. I want to be able to take you in your hotspot show and we can go do more things where you can actually be on sets with people. And then we have these conversations, produced, polished, because to me, you're no different than Dr. Phil. You're no different than Ian Van Zant. And all these things, all these speakers, they're next to nothing you put out and talk about is any less than what they do. So what we're looking to do going forward is to create a space where we can capitalize and give jobs, give opportunities, give advertising to people who may say, hey, I'm selling lip gloss, I'm selling purses, I'm selling clothes. You can have a commercial spot on the hotspot and benefit, but it just goes into the ecosystem of us learning how to own what we create and not being reliant on these platforms. Because not to go into politics, but you see here recently that Twitter took somebody off their platform.
I said Donald Trump. Okay. Go ahead. He's scared to say it. I said it.
Nah, I ain't scared to say it. I'm just gonna leave it out there. I ain't know how
Okay, I
far you
said it.
want
I
to
said
drag
it. Go
it.
ahead.
I'm always producing, so I don't want to look. If somebody want to spend some money advertising and sponsoring the show, we take all dollars.
Okay. Twitter took the president of the United States off their platform
There you
based
go.
on material he was tweeting that didn't line up with their company policy. So that's where the producer come in.
Guidelines. And this is what I'm saying. YouTube has done this recently. If they found that you talked about something or your views or your opinions weren't something that they felt fit their advertisers' platforms and goals and aspirations, they would demonetize you. That means that they could take the agreement of paying you for your content and just not pay you, and that leaves the creator. And a lot of creators were saying, hey, we live and eat off doing these shows, doing these contents in this kind of structure, and because of that, if you don't pay me, I don't eat. So this is why ownership is such a big thing now going
He did,
forward.
Natasha. Go ahead. Keep going.
So, I look at your platform. Speaking of Ari, I know Ari and Gerard are also building their platform with,
Mhm.
the the
Dimension.
things they're producing, and
Right.
you know, and all of those things are great. But if Facebook said tomorrow, we don't want any more religious stuff online on our platform, we're just going to remain a certain demographic. How could you control all of the people that come through your content? A lot of times we don't have email lists, we don't have contact lists. We just say, hey, everybody just follows me on Facebook, everybody just follows me on YouTube or whatever. But other than that, if they took your right to create on their platform, you would lose your audience. And that's the scariest thing, because you can do all this work. You can work 154 days, and on 160, they can say, hey, we don't want this anymore. And then all of that work is gone. So that's why I say, what we're doing, especially with the brands that we are in contact with, we're pushing ownerships. And that's why I started the BEPS network. And a lot of people say, hey, I can't find it on YouTube, or, I see you have a landing page on Facebook, but it's just for me to give people a glimpse into what the app is going to be. So when we complete the app, it's going to be just like Netflix. It's going to you'll be able to get it on your Android, your Apple TV, your Roku, your Fire Stick, whatever major distribution, you'll be able to get it. You'll be able to go to the app like you do Netflix. And let's say, Pastor, you'll be able to see spiritual, go to spiritual content. Oh, there's Pastor McCarter. Oh, I see the Hotspot. There's a Hotspot. Oh, he also has another show where he's doing, this, that, or the other.
We got the other one we're working on. We got to do that one.
We can't tell him yet. We can't tell him
about that one.
Just hold on. Just hold on to it.
Okay, producer. Okay, all right. Y'all gotta see this other one he's gonna produce with me.
Oh man, I'm so excited about that one, man.
Okay.
Oh man, we're not gonna go into that one. Y'all find it later. But we're producing these content in these shows for the sake of being able to, like I said, own our content. When we want to do something, if we want to push it out.
Stop right there. I know you're talking, but I'm saying things. My cousin here, Reginald McCarter, which is good. He said, will you have stock options for the app? That's a good question.
At some point in the beginning, it's just going to probably be the family, and we already have a couple investors that are looking to get in at the ground floor. But when you start to get into stock and having that level of trading in your company, it's a lot more legality, and you got to have boards and things of that nature. So right now we're really just trying to get the infrastructure up and start building out the app and the content. And then as we get up, we may start looking to be, where we should start selling shares and things of that nature.
Yeah. And I appreciate you saying that, Lo. I'm really excited about this. And you all, again, this is my son-in-law. This is my daughter husband. And they have given me 2 wonderful grandchildren that I'm excited about, with my other 3 for my son and his wife, Nikki. But we are excited. I was so excited about getting him up here today, because we've been talking about production for years.
Yeah.
And we feel, we've talked about it, that 2021 is that year to go forward with everything that we plan to do. And I wanted him to come and share this with us. We got a lot more things to share. If you got any questions, I'm looking at them. I'm looking to see what questions you may have. Somebody said, own our content. And that's one of the things that Laura would tell me. You need to own your own content. Definitely that. Reginald said, we want to support you from the ground up. Got it, cuz we're coming with it. And I promise you have a great opportunity to do that, because we definitely are about family. We want to leave a legacy of wealth, because that's what a lot of other people have done, and have done it for years. And we feel, hey, look, y'all, there she is. Hi. That's my
Hey everyone. This is Lowe's day. He's supposed to be educating on us how to be better with our content.
Right. Well,
so she's the worst one to listen to. It's so hard to get my own wife to do what I have.
You produce some awesome things with your wife that my daughter also like that. Vision Her. That was amazing. And I know y'all gonna come back with some more things, but go ahead. You produce that also, right?
Yeah, we produce that
on your network.
And the thing about it is, I call myself initially.
There's so many cameras in here. I don't even know where to look.
I know.
Here, whether I should look here, whether I should look on this computer, this iPad, this screen over here. Let me tell you something. I can't get in this conversation. I don't know why y'all want to be. I can't talk about this.
I wanted you to come just in case.
His lane, and I'm gonna be in my avenue. Okay.
Look, Mina, I wanted you to come just in case I forgot something.
Right.
That he does. I mean,
Right,
you married him, that's your husband, and I love him as my son-in-law, but y'all are doing some great things together. The two of you together, literally, it is amazing the production that you have in you.
Yeah,
I
the
know
Vision
difference.
was an awesome event. I did not want to do it at all.
Yeah.
But of course, Aloysius is a pusher.
Producer.
Who named you producer?
Dog, it's on my tag, dog. It's been on there since you told me years ago.
Yeah, well, okay, I just want to get a little credit. But go ahead, man.
Somebody say PP. Okay. And so yeah, it was great. It was really, really,
and it was the first
time.
one.
It was the first one.
Yeah.
That was kind of like a test run. That was like a test trial.
So you are producing.
Important.
So you are going to produce another Vision Her. So you're coming back, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we got one. We're in the works now for the top of the year. Yeah. So the one we have now coming up is going to be helping women with the first quarter of this year. So really locking in, planning, understanding, getting some new goals, because what we got to understand too, there is a lot of money and opportunities for people who are willing to get out of their comfort zone. Right. And you can do it right in the safety of your house.
Absolutely.
And I mean, and that's what I tell Mina, because I love her heart for women. And I love the conversations, because a lot of times she just talks. And she'd be like, I saw these, lady commented and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, we should do this to help women like that. We should do this. And she'd be like, I was just really just thinking about I was just talking about it. And I'm like, nah, we ain't just going to talk about it. Let's put something in action. Matter of fact, we're doing the shoe giveaway coming up.
Yes, April, the first week of April.
Yeah, so we're really trying to get out, because there are a lot of people that have had nothing but very limited money and financial resources coming out of 2020. Their kids are still growing. You still growing, because I'm working on that right now. I was doing some workouts this morning.
Get it in.
But
you did some yoga. It wasn't. I'm being like my mom now.
You definitely, hey, bro. Hey, she got that from her mom. Dog. You definitely your mother's daughter. Good luck, bro.
You did 3 minutes of yoga, and all of a sudden you did a whole workout.
Hey, don't mess with it, man.
That's
my wife's daughter. That's my wife's daughter.
We skilled in it, dog.
What mom at? Put mom on the camera.
You married one Edwards, you get them all.
You hearing that? She's over in the other room.
I love all y'all. Love you too.
But stay right there, man. I see a question here. I want you both to hear this. Okay. Deacon Graham, one of my top deacons there at our Morning Star Church, said, will you allow marketing on your platform? Yeah, we do kind of doing that now. Yeah. And as we're developing the hotspot as well as other things, we're trying to get the business side of it going too. But go ahead. You tap into that.
This is the thing, people. I want people to know is that we always create things that offer opportunities for other people.
Yes.
We are, and I think that's one of the strongest attributes about our family dynamic is that we all seek to help people be as great as they can be. I spoke to a couple people because, some people don't know, hey, Lo, how do I start a Facebook business page? How do I start, how do I get a quality website?
And he does all this stuff, website, Facebook business page. And that's why I had Jamina to come to talk about some of the things you do. I just benefit from what you do. But I can't remember all of it.
Because it's so much.
Right.
Hold on, babe.
I'm sorry. I'm pressing stuff.
You're touching stuff.
That's because, let me tell y'all something. Lowe's when we get off, I want you to take a picture and post all this stuff in here. People think that it may just be like one camera, or it may be a few buttons, and that's how easy it is to produce.
Production studio.
This stuff is as technical as it can get. And I'm not even so much talking about Low. I'm just talking about in general. It really does take a whole lot. It's a lot more than just pressing a button. So the knowledge that he has and the skill that the Lord has given to him, it truly is a gift. Like when his mother laid hands on him. Well,
yes.
Oh, okay. The spirits are coming out. Yeah, God.
That's that apostolic church coming out of him there.
Right, right.
Right.
But when
Go
his
ahead.
mother laid hands on his hands when he was a younger,
Thank you, Mother
literally, it's
Barbara.
met. Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Since we've met, everything that he puts his hands to is successful, or it's not, and not even just so much, where it's like, oh, whatever. It literally, he perfects everything that he does, and it's always like top notch. So even if I want to do something that's, mediocre or whatever, he ain't gonna let me. Like,
Yeah.
I may not want to do it at all, but because, the anointing on his hands in his life. And to be honest with you, I really think the lesson in that is that, like my brother and Lo always say, we have to die empty. Meaning there's so many things that are in you that the Lord put inside of you that he wants to come out. They don't need to go to the grave with you. They have to come out. So every day that you wake up, you should be saying, Lord, what is it that you want me to do today outside of my day job or outside of just the norm? What
preaching, Doc.
No, I'm
Come
not.
on,
I'm
come
being
on.
for real. This is how I think. Like, what creativity do you want me to pour out to somebody or for the world today? Because it's all within you. So that's why he's called the producer.
Yeah, and I was getting ready to say, Jamina, that's why you got to have a producer in your life.
Absolutely.
Now, so let me ask you this. So people that are watching this and with your company that you have or your companies, what can you do for folks as a producer? Just go on a list of things, Facebook pages that you do for folks in your company, but it's not free. Oh, go ahead.
Anything digital we create and we can coordinate.
Okay.
One of the things that a lot of times people don't understand about being a producer is not necessarily saying that I have to do everything. It's knowing what resources to add to what projects. So somebody's probably watching here saying, Lo, I got this business. I'm just starting out. I don't have any money for all that. Okay, well, let me tell you how this works. I always consult with people on this. You got to know where you're starting. So commit $50. For $50, you can talk to someone like myself. You can call us and I'll say, hey, what is it that you need? Well, I need a Facebook. I need a website. I need, business cards. I need some type of advertising graphic that may say my service, right? Yeah. So we'll look at what you do and I'll say, okay, what is the seed that you can take this $50? What can we plant this in to start generating you some type of activity? So you may not need a Facebook page yet. What you may need is a graphic design that you can text out to everybody, that you can email out to everybody saying, hey, I just started this business. If you seen this graphic, text me or call me for $5 off this product or service. So let's say let's say Mina is looking for lip gloss. You may say, hey, it's a million people out here, Lo.
How do expresses lips that Natasha does?
Natasha Sanders.
Natasha.
Yeah. I know. I always say it wrong. Charge it to my head, not my heart.
You to learn how to say that.
I know. I've been jacking it up.
You got to get
lipstalk.com.
So when you have a business like that, you may say, hey, instead of doing something that looks very lackluster, because I think a lot of times, and I'm gonna say this, lackluster means if you look at Oreo branding and then you look at Cremo's branding, kids tend to go with the better polished product.
So great value instead of Kellogg's.
Great value versus the name brand. Right. So the thing people mistakenly think is that you have to spend $1 million to get the name brand look. That is not true. That means you just have to know how to tap into the services and resources
that's good
available for you to get that look. And this is what I say. You got to come with a sacrifice. Nothing that is birth comes without sacrifice. You talk about those 2 beautiful grandchildren we gave you, but in that, Mina had to sacrifice. She had to sacrifice being able to walk around 9 months. She had to sacrifice being able to give up rest and sleep comfortably. Nothing that is birthed or produced, even the ground, has to sacrifice the space for the seed to grow.
That's
There's all these things that you have to sacrifice.
What's the text?
You started it. You opened this door. So, but
Go ahead, walk on through it. Walk on through it.
we walking, Doc. So
Okay.
when you're looking at this, start with a sacrifice. Say, hey, if I can commit $50 next month to help my business grow, it will, I promise you, what you'll see is that doors will open. God will always be on the reaction side of our action. So when we give God something to
Hold it right there. You said God will always be on the reaction side
of
of
our
our action.
Yes, sir.
So instead of being reactive, be proactive.
Yeah. Come on.
That's a powerful word you said there, man. God
So-
will always be on the reaction side of our action. He just wants us to be proactive. He did the reaction. We just need to do the proactive.
Right.
When somebody said prove me, try me, it means give me something to test me. But we don't test God. We throw prayers to the wind and then we hope that something happens. I can walk outside every day of my life and say, hey, I hope somebody pays my mortgage. But if I don't put anything in action, if I'm not out somebody and somebody may say, Lo, why are you working so hard? Why are you out here doing this? And you say, hey, you know what? I have a mortgage I got to pay and I'm just trying to work towards it. And they say, well, is anybody paying you for that? No, but well, come with me. I got some stuff that I need done. Because you're willing to work, I can do something with that. And that's how God sees us. A lot of times we got to put the action. He's standing, like I said, is just so true. He's standing on the other side of our actions, waiting to be reactive. And he just said, oh, if you have the faith, but the size of a mustard seed, all you need is a small seed. Mina she's become a gardener this year.
Yeah.
And because of the producer, it has taught me so much more as a producer watching her garden, because I watched the stages of things grow. She had these plants that were elephant ears called the jacks. She named all of them Jays. But the elephant ears sprouted up. It was amazing how fast they shot up out of the ground. But then she had other plants that were slowly blooming. But the beauty of what they came out with, because of the slower process, made the garden beautiful, man.
Yeah.
And what makes us grow as a community is that I may be a jack, but you may be a slow bloom, but your value to the garden is just equally as pleasant. And you know, and that's why I say, like, you know, we got to stop comparing our gifts and talents and businesses to other people.
Stop right there. Stop comparing our gifts and talents and businesses with other people.
Yes.
So if we're going to stop comparing, what should we do? Tell me what we should do.
You should just focus on your process every day.
That's powerful. Focus on the process. That's good. Go ahead.
Let me jump in real quick, because I think also one thing that we have to realize are the seasons. Because right now, all those beautiful plants don't look like they did when it started.
Yeah.
But it's because of the season. But spring is still coming.
Okay.
So even though, like, I know some of you may be saying, I don't have a business, I don't know where to start. Tell me what I should do.
It's cold right now.
It's cold right now.
Right now.
It's still a warm season where there's going to be blooms, there's going to be blossoms.
But spring is coming. You said spring is coming.
Spring is coming. Spring is coming.
You best know.
Spring forward all day long. And you know,
somebody put hashtag spring is coming. Go ahead.
You know, and you know what? The cold season doesn't feel good at all. Okay? It doesn't feel good at all. It makes you tight, makes you not want to do anything, makes you feel like you can't grow. But there's still the warmth that's coming, that's going to allow your fertilized soil to be able to sprout again. So like Lo said, we have to understand the process. We got to understand what it means to go through each stage, like Lo was saying.
And I'm glad she said that, because here's the thing. In the winter, jacks are dying.
They are.
Now again, jacks are the different names she gave plants.
Yeah, they're the elephant ears.
Right?
The elephant ears. Okay. The elephant ears. Okay.
So the elephant ears, while they may be beautiful and thriving when the weather is conditioned to their growth process, there are others who said we are closer to the ground. We don't have to be as much in the sun as jacks do. So we can still hold our color and withstand the cold.
Right. You have a few out there like that. Yeah.
So the elephant ears don't look like
come on, Doc.
what they used to.
Nah, they don't look like they used to.
But there's coming spring in a season.
Yes, sir.
Where they were saying we were here in the ground all the time. But you go ahead. You're the producer. Go ahead. I'm just talking.
Which is true. And my point of saying that is that all businesses are not year-round businesses.
Oh, that's good. Wait a minute, producer.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, that's so good. You can't just run by that. You said all businesses are not year-round.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Some businesses are meant for you to do 3 to 6 months out of the year. They're not meant for you to do all year. And that's sometimes the issue.
You plant something else.
Yes, you need to be planning for the season.
For the season, because I have some other plants in the ground that are called kale, right? They're called ornamental kales. And they look amazing.
Yeah.
It could be like 30 degrees outside, and the next day when I walk in outside, they're gonna look amazing. Even Lo said the other day, he was like, those look good. But the reason why they look the way they do is because they're in the right season for their growth.
And what's funny is let me say this real quick. I told Atiana the other day,
my granddaughter Atiana,
I hadn't even noticed them until this happened, until it got cold.
Right.
Because everything else died and they were the only thing remaining that still looked like it had color and life.
Absolutely.
But what I hear you saying though is from a business perspective and a producer.
Yeah.
Just because something or the business may not be doing good in that spring season or in that season where it was, but it doesn't mean it cannot produce something in the cold season.
Yeah.
It's something that it still can produce. It may not be everything you want it to be, but still hold on to your business.
Absolutely.
And it goes back to why God tells us to be good soil, because at the end of the day, the plants and what we see above ground changes, but the soil is still good regardless. So you can have stuff that's in you, like I said, that's only meant to come out a certain amount of times a year. It's not meant for you to bloom and blossom in that area all year round.
Right.
You may need to only focus on it 3 to 6 months, and then focus on some other things that may be year round. And in that, you can still develop fruit and harvest or streams of income that give you something back. Right. And that's why I say, you got to understand what processes you're in. If I started to sell a new pen or something tomorrow, I have to let people have the process of understanding what it is this product does. Number 2, why do you need it? And then what will you benefit from it? And until I can educate you on those measures, think about how many products are in Walmart, right? You don't go pick them all up just because you go to the store.
Right.
You go pick up what you need. And that's what you got to help people understand. Why is it important for you to tune into the Hotspot? Why is it important for you to, invest in making sure this platform stays abreast and going?
Fine too.
Yes, because you find that it's
tuning.
something that adds value.
Absolutely.
We always pick up certain items. There's certain things that remain on the list regardless. And some things are just momentary, so when those things that are mainstays, we invest in those things. Like there are people Mina supports, I support as creatives, as people in general, because they feed us spiritually, educationally, or some way that gives us something to keep our soil good.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And that goes to your businesses. So, like I said, going back, you commit $50, commit whatever it is that you can. I just recently did a video starting this year to help educate people on side hustles, things that you generate, funding and money for the things that you need. Like I'm telling Mina's a phenomenal writer, right? So
we see a lot of her writings on Facebook and her page. And
Hallmark, card companies, people who need bios for their businesses. Man, people pay up to $50 to $500, thousands of dollars for writers, because how you write, how your words are represented is something that people will either buy and take your services. Because now, matter of fact, I'm pushing my wife, I'm producing her. If you have a product, if you have a website, look, she can write your stuff. You can send her and tell her what your business is about, and she can write for you. She writes it, you know, all the things she does. She's an author. People forget that. She loves to write, but she has a gift with words. And if you know, you may say, Lo, on my Facebook page, what should I put for my business? You know, you can't get on there and say, hey, I'm just selling chicken and some cake. Like, people don't want to, they want to know the difference between saying that and, have you ever woken up with the sun on your face and then there was this dying need for you to taste something sweet? Oh, yeah. Stop by, you know, so-and-so's bakery. Well, the lustrous and the flakiness of their cakes is amazing. That's a whole different experience just from you reading that. And you like, oh man, I gotta go try that out.
So in other words, that's another side hustle that you're bringing out of her, the writing.
Yes.
And this is why I wanted my son-in-law up here, the producer. God has wired him up this way. He can take an idea. Remember now, I tell y'all, a blessing is an idea, a concept, an opportunity. A spoken word from God when received will change your direction. There's some people you need in your life that can take the idea, the concept, and the opportunity and produce it in a way that you couldn't even see it. And that's why God got people like Aloysius Ballard in the world, and BEPS, Beyond Expectation Production. But let me do this also. Y'all go anywhere. I've been looking at the Facebook page, but look, you all on the YouTube side. I have my overlay up there. And Dr. McDaniels, thank you for being the flame. Shannon T. and Tiller, you got married yesterday.
Congratulations.
Yes. Mrs. Barnes, Mr. and Mrs. Tiller Barnes Jr. are in the house. Congratulations on that. And thank you all for continuing to tap into the hotspot. And I just believe the Lord has great things for your marriage. It is the marriage of a lifetime. I gave you that prophetic word earlier this week, and I'm so excited. We're in the hotspot. We're excited about you all. Look, you got married in a pandemic. Oh, come on, somebody. look, that's a miracle in itself. With so many things dying, you all decide to get a marriage that will live. That's what I hear the Lord saying. You get a marriage that will live in a pandemic. So the only thing I tell you, no pandemic in your marriage. It's the promises of God. Amen. Because you decided to trust God. So you know what, Lord? This is a great time for us to just trust you and be who you want us to be in relationship. So I want to make sure I said it to you all, and God bless you. Big Daddy Soul in here again. Man, Bobby Spencer. Lo, y'all remember Bobby?
Hey, that's my boy, man.
That's our boy, Big Daddy Soul. Yeah. He said faithful from Rocky Mount. I love that. Jamie Hamilton in here on the YouTube side. Got Olivia Red on the YouTube side. Look, thank you all just tapping into the hotspot. And I want to make sure I did that. Listen, also, Tim. Now, you don't have to give me the eyes that many times on the hotspot, man. Tim in the flame. I got you, bro. Okay? Look, I got 3 words in my throat. I'm going to give them to you later on, Tim, because you gave me the eyes a whole bunch of times. I'm just teasing you, bro. But listen, you all, we got great things planned this year. My son-in-law there, the producer, my daughter, I mean, they really keep me focused, and they have a lot of things that they have on the plate also. But we want to make sure you carry out what God has in you. And that was one of the reasons I wanted him up here. If you need some production in your life, you only touched just a little bit of it. If you need something done in your life, I'm telling you now, you need to get in touch with him. I'm not saying because you're my son-in-law. A lot of time folks don't want to do something with you until you're famous. And then when folks get famous, they don't have no time for you. Yeah. But when you can get around somebody that's faithful, regardless of how far they go in life, that's what make a difference. And they're those kind of people. I want to say that. Okay. But go ahead. Now, what else did we leave out as far as production? Matter of fact, the overlay y'all see right now on God's Hotspot, guess who produced that for me? I didn't do it. He did that. All the things you see here, the fire you see up there above their heads, he did that also. This is what the producer does in my life. And this is just only a little bit, just a little bit. But what other wisdom can you give folks in this pandemic about production and technology? as we kind of come in for a small landing?
I mean, really, man, the biggest takeaways is that, don't be afraid to get up and educate yourself. A lot of times people see the things that I kind of am able to pull off, but Mina can attest, I'm always learning. Never stop learning. You should always figure out ways. I watch things and documentaries and shows on stuff like you'd be like, why in the world is he watching that? But you can always learn from the things that people produce. If it's bad, I learn something. If it's good, I learn something.
That's good. I like that.
Always in there. You on back here touching stuff, back there. You go. Yeah.
It's so much stuff in here.
Look. See, did y'all see that? I love the way he handled my daughter. Okay. But it's his wife. He said, "You're in there touching stuff. You touching stuff in my studio that you shouldn't be touching on." But that's what a producer did. Look, he did it very professionally with much love. But really, he was saying, if you don't get your hands off stuff, I'd say it for him. But remember, this is a father looking at his daughter. So I love the way you handled that. Okay.
Hey, you already know, man. We almost 20 years in this thing, man.
Okay. Deacon Redder said, Mina, and that's they call my daughter Mina also. I call her Money. Mina has yet to begin to do what the Lord has for her. That's the prophetic word that Deacon Redder gave for you, and I received that. I want to look real quickly at some of the comments that people have here.
Let me shout out to you, man. I love you, Pops. Pops been in my journey, in my corner from day one.
Yeah.
I would not be where I am today without that man. I promise.
Talking about Deacon Redder, right?
Yes, I love.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Shannon said, "Don't forget Egypt and the 7 years of plenty." It's a Shannon Wills. Shannon and Karen. Go ahead.
Shannon's supposed to be getting with me with his business.
Okay.
I'm excited about that. That's why I said, man, we got some amazing, talented people in our community, man. I really, and the thing I hate, and maybe we'll figure out a time, Dog, where we can have more business focused.
But you know what? That's what the Rehoboth Coalition is about. Yeah. See, most of these folks here, they are so excited about the Rehoboth Coalition. All of them want to be a part of it. We got the Jesus part, but we need to get the kingdom part. See, the kingdom part is the marketplace. All y'all up here, you're going to heaven. I want to make sure you understand. You're not gonna miss it. Jesus died to make sure you don't miss heaven. The issue is whether or not, like they say, we're gonna die empty. Miles Monroe is the one that used to say that a lot.
Yeah.
But you got to have a kingdom mindset. And that's what the producer does in your life, and the Rehoboth Coalition, and all this stuff we're going to produce. We want to see just want to see everybody do well. And the time is now, you all. Look, with COVID-19 and how the world has shifted, this is the time to be very fertile.
Yes.
You're not keying in on the problem. You got to talk about it. Don't deny it, but it's not keeping people from going forward. Look, Jacob prospered, Isaac prospered in the famine. He sold in the famine and prospered 100 times more. You get it? This is the time to sow your business, sow your ideas, but you got to connect with people that's really concerned about where you're going. This is where the Hotspot is all about. And that's why I bring people like Lowen, the producer, to help us. All different people we've been bringing in here. It's all about empowering you to go beyond salvation. You got to do more than just being saved. You got it? Yeah. I want you to carry out these things. Now, they also somebody mentioned the cooking show. Now, Jamina, I know a lot of the cooking she does. You do a lot of the video, and people need to know that. Okay. He produces the cooking the show that you, it's not even a show. It's put stuff on Facebook. But
we
part of the production also. Go ahead.
That as well. Yeah, we do.
It's just, we wear so many hats.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm working this year to help my wonderful wife just not do as much, because sometimes we can be busy and not be producing. So what we want to do is be productive.
Wait, you can't just run by that, producer. You cannot do that. Come on, slow walk, let it drip, let it flow. Right. You say we can be busy but not being
we're not producing. Yeah, we're not producing anything.
Wow. Go ahead.
So
talk about that.
You don't want to be busy and just doing a lot, but not being productive. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, like, I know when I'm on her, it's because sometimes she'll make things in her mind where she feels like she has to do something. but then it's not really productive. Like we're gonna be transparent. So like with the kids will come in the kitchen, she'll just clean the kitchen, and they'll come in and they'll mess up stuff, or the dogs will come in,
Yeah.
and I'll be like, it'll be 6:30, and in my mind, the producer's mind, I know everybody's regiment, so
Right.
I'm not going to keep doing the same thing, knowing the results.
Yes.
That in another hour I'm gonna have to do it all over again.
Right. So I
I'm gonna let
become
the kids,
overwhelmed.
and that's what we got to do. Sometimes we do things in life where we are repeating and giving away energy to things that are just could sit on the shelf, and you could be patient and do something else that's productive, and then come back to that.
And actually, that's honestly what I'm working on this year. That's a good statement, is to not be doing so much. And we're not talking about the purpose of, things you do in your life. We're not talking about my writing and, cooking and stuff. We're just talking about
the other things.
Like, I'll do way too much in the house, or, whatever. I just always feel like when sometimes I could just sit down, so I can hear God and, just speak. Like every time I talk to my dad, I'm like, Dad, I'm doing it. And one day he was like, every time I talk to you, always doing something. I'm like, you know what? That may not be a good thing.
Right.
So slow down a little bit.
And that's why I said, the thing about anything that's productive, because what makes, like I said earlier, what makes you a great producer is your ability to understand what's needed and what's not. Sometimes we give attention to things that are not necessarily needed, and it takes away from the time from the things that do. Right. So being able to manage that is a key element in keeping balance in your life and keeping you in a healthy place where you can keep producing.
Right.
Because there were times where I wouldn't say no to things, and then it would just wear me out to the point where I was no earthly good to anybody.
Wow.
And then, people say, well, Lo, man, this is not your work. This, is everything okay? And I wasn't being the full version of who I was destined to be and purposed to be, because I was giving energy to things that weren't being productive. So
go ahead. I like when you said productive. I want people to know this. A lot of you have purchased my meditation CD, Seeing with Your Ears.
Yeah.
The man that produced that is sitting right here in front of you, right in front of the camera right now. My son-in-law actually produced that, and it's a great project. And we had a wonderful time doing that. He also produced the project Eclectic. That's the one that my son, Pastor Jay.
Shout out Jay.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely want to do that. But my son-in-law produced that also. So what I'm telling you, it is good to have a producer in your life, someone that you can work with, someone that you know. But I want people to know that project was produced by you, and it's an amazing project, Seeing with Your Ears. And I appreciate it.
We have, matter of fact, since we on here, we have volume 2 waiting to be produced. If y'all want volume 2, send Bishop something on his Cash App.
No, send it to him, the producer.
No, man. Send it to Bishop on his Cash App. Matter of fact, what's today? 154. How much is that? Give me something on that. 154. 10. That's 10. Doesn't that add up to 10? 154. Yeah. Send $10 to Bishop, and we're gonna.
But here's what I want to do. These folks they blessed me not too long ago. I brought you up here, and you've given a lot of wisdom about producing, and this is just a little bit. I'm gonna have him back again, you all, because there's some practical and technical things that based on the time he just did not get into. But if you've been blessed by anything that was shared with you, like we always do when we bring somebody in the Hotspot, you see his Cash App right there. Some of you, if your heart was really touched and you said, whoa, I got to move on that right there, you take the time and be a blessing to him right there, because this network is about to take off. BEPS, I got it right this time, Beyond Expectation Production. And now is a great time to sow into where this is going. And I mean that. You get it. At the end of the day, we need each other. And this is what makes the difference. It's what makes the difference. And I definitely appreciate you. And I wanted to make sure I got that in. And you all also heard him say, and this is for real, he actually helped produce a project that Beyonce was on. I'm surprised he even talked about it because I thought it had to stay top secret. And that was about you actually with. I mean, he had camp. They brought him to Vegas to be a part of this production project. Could you tell us about that?
It's with the NDA.
Oh, okay. You can't tell us about it. Okay.
I can't go into, like it was a lot, but like overall,
it was about 7 years ago.
Yeah, they pretty much had a reunion. It was a secret Destiny's Child reunion. When I was able to be flown out, I was able to work with Beyonce's team and her creative staff.
To another lady that was part of this.
Yeah, with one of my business mentors, a lady by the name of Dr. Holly Carter, who produced
Dr. Holly Carter. Yeah.
Right, Dr. Holly Carter. She produced the Clark Sisters movie. She works on a lot of big projects in Hollywood, and she literally, God connected us, and that's why I say you never know who's watching you. I was in Mississippi. I got my start on the major level, doing things at the Stellar Awards. And when I was at the Stellar Awards, I was doing all the things nobody wanted to do. So I would put out the chairs, anything that needed to be done, I would volunteer just to get experience and get insight into how the industry worked. And I'll never forget, it was one year in Nashville, we were there, and the guy, Mr. Don Jackson, who owns the Stellar Awards, Central City Productions, walked in with a group of people. I was the only one that stayed around to help do this work that they needed done. Everybody else was chasing Kirk Franklin and all these other artists. And I was back there working, and he walked in, they had a problem, and he said, "Who are you?" And I said, "How you doing, sir? My name is Aloysius Ballard, I'm from Mississippi." He said, "What are you doing in here?" So they end up having an issue. And it just so happens that I was working at the Grand Casino at the time and in, banquet setup. So I was able to get the guest VIP room up and set up for them because of the snow. Everybody was, not able to get in town. So I ended up managing that project. From that year, he made sure I had a position in what I wanted to do. So I got to meet all of the stars. I got to work with Idris Elba, Gabrielle Union, all the, comedians, anybody you can think in the industry came through that show. And God connected me with all those people. So, you fast forward to my reputation being in the industry, they needed somebody that they could trust and that could come in and do this job. And that's how Dr. Carter heard about me. And I end up getting that opportunity. But, I tell everybody, it's not about where you come from. It's about what people say when you're not around. So if you always create something that people speak highly of you, even when you're not in the room, God will open doors for you that you did not expect to be open.
That's a word. That's a word. Look, and I appreciate you sharing that. And there's so much more I want to talk to you about. But we've been up here now an hour and 18 minutes. And it doesn't even seem like but we trust me, on the hotspot, it happens like that. Okay. It happens. Look, I want to read Hillary got a comment here. Empowerment to go beyond expectation productively and effectively. Wow, that's good. That's good. I'm just looking at some of the comments in the Facebook page. If you all see something there that you want to share, go ahead and do that. I want to make sure that you answer any questions anybody have. I see where the YouTube side, Jasmine Hamilton said, "What is a blessing, an idea, an opportunity?" And what was the third one? Jasmine, a blessing is an idea. It's a concept, an opportunity. A spoken word from God, when received, will change your direction. That's what a blessing is. He gives us ideas, concepts, and opportunities. And if we carry out the ideas, the concepts, and the opportunities, then we reap the things that come with that. The blessing is not the car, it's not the house. It's a result of an idea or a concept or an opportunity. And then you see the opportunity become reality through cars, houses, and things like that. But a lot of folks miss out on it. They think going after things, but it's being productive is what it is, like the producer's saying there, and pushing us. Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead. If you got something else you want to share, I'm looking at a couple more comments. Kelly Madonna in the flame. Y'all giving me the eyes today. Janice King, we welcome you here. Let me see. Alice Miracle Signs of Wonder Albritton put hashtag like George Jefferson. The Rehoboth Coalition is moving on up. I mean, a lot of these folks are excited, producer. I'm telling you this right now about this Rehoboth Coalition. Okay,
it's exciting time.
They really are. These people are on fire. And you told some of them got here. I see what Kelly Alexander was talking about. Seeing with the ears, number 2, they're waiting on it. It has been me, it's been me, not the producer. He's been trying to push me for about 5 or 6 years. He's got the music. He's just been waiting for me to get back in the studio. So y'all pray. I really just stepped in the booth and he just said, hey, flow, and I got you. And the rest is history. Okay?
We're gonna document it this time, because the last time we always learning and growing. As a producer, I was very upset with myself that I did not document it, because the power of God that came in when you were doing these prayers, man, was so thick and unreal. Like, I really wish people could just see the stillness that was in there during this moment. So yeah, man, I can't wait till we get the next one out.
Okay, I see Joyce Moses put here, low scroll up. I had a senior citizen question. No, Joyce, we done had a lot of comments that come, so we're gonna
tell her to retype it.
Thank you. See that? Thank you. Oh, I got my daughter in my life. Dad, just tell her to retype it. Joyce, retype that question again. Retype it on Facebook, Joyce, your senior citizen question, because we want to entertain any question you all have. This is a special moment right now. Bobby Spencer put, thank you. This is amazing. Thanks for sharing the family with us this week. Amazing. In God will. Keep on leading us, Pastor. Terrence Mobley put here, the body of Christ manifests and each gift contributes to the success of the body. That's right. That's right. Joyce, did she put it in there? She put it in there, Jamina. You looking for me on Facebook? Joyce, put that in there.
Yeah, me either. I just got
well, I got it on my Facebook page. I'm looking. She said scroll up. I thought okay, somebody put it for me. Thank you. The queen of God's hotspot, Jacqueline Slater, looking out for me. James is working today. Mama Joyce wanted to know if you could do a senior citizen course on technology. That's good.
That would be great.
Come on, Joyce. Yeah,
that is an awesome idea.
Tell me what you would want me to cover, and I'll do it.
Yeah, to present some stuff too.
So if it's just using how to properly use your iPhone or your iPad or whatever it is.
She just put here, can Lo have a tech class for senior citizens? I think it's kind of delayed. She probably gonna hear you in a minute. So Joyce, did you hear what the producer said? What is it that you want?
I'll do that.
And look, and some of the rest of you, if you got some production questions about your website, Facebook page, YouTube, how to handle technology, this is what BEPS is all about. And keep the network in prayer. We're pretty excited about the network. We can have our own network. He can have his own network, and we can definitely be a part of that. Olivia said, let me know when. Olivia, another senior citizen, wants to know about that. Amen. Let me see. Sure, everything. I'm lost a lot. Okay. Cheryl Walls. She wants to know about that. Oh, that's pretty good. They're responding to this senior citizen. Good question, George. She said all of the above.
Okay.
Amen. Willie Redder want to know, when do I start back to work?
Oh, that's fine.
I already know, Pops. I'm gonna let you know, man. We gonna get you in there soon.
Kelly Madonna, you're in the flame. Okay. Let me see what's necessary in the moment versus what's present as an opportunity in general. Okay, that's good, Hillary. Mary Cooper, as you move forward in the gifts God has for you, you can activate and release gifts in others. Oh, I like that. That's good. Wow. Okay, well, praise God. Brenda said, understanding what's needed and what's not. Yes, that's some people repeating some of the things that you were sharing in wisdom. I see a bunch, man. I tell you what, this is what I love about y'all in the hotspot. You are catching and carrying. You catch it and you carry it.
I like
this.
That.
Truly has been super spreader Saturday, and I know you all shared. You stayed in here strong. This has been day 154 in God's hotspot. The number 154 is the number for God is judge, not man. That's what the number 154 stands for. God is judge. Y'all got that? That's what the number 154. This is our 154th day in God's hotspot. And here's a verse I want to share with you. Psalms 46. You'll like this one, producer.
Yes.
And my you'll love this one. It's Psalms 46, verse 11. The Lord of heaven's army is among us. The God of Israel is our fortress. You get that? The Lord of heaven's army is among us. Put hashtag he's here.
He's here. That's right.
Yeah.
Out of everything that's going, look, it said the Lord of heaven's armies. Wow, is among us.
Yeah.
And he said, the God of Israel is our fortress. What's a fortress? When y'all hear that word fortress, what comes to mind?
Safety.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And, you know, let me tell you what I like, the producer in me, you know, I tell you this is why I always go back and listen to, you know, your sermons, just because my mind builds out words in what I hear. So when you say the Lord's army is among us, number one, it tells me that he's aware of me and that he's comfortable being with me. Two, it says that he strategically placed them to be with me. That I'm no longer by myself. And then for you to talk about fortress means that he knew that there would be things that would come up against me, that I needed a place of shelter to reside. So what more can you ask for in that scripture? To know that the Lord has already taken measures to be with us, to be comfortable with us, which means the relationship is there, and to already think of a place of shelter and safety for anything that may come against us and that we may face, especially in this day and age. Man, that's reassuring and refreshing to know as a child of God, man.
So pretty much you're saying, hey, what a great verse for such a time as this on day 154. And look, day 154, and 154 is the number for God is judge. Now, I know you don't have it where you can see what they're saying on Facebook, but everything you were saying, as you were saying it, people were putting it in. Somebody put safety.
Wow.
Somebody put protection. And this is as you were letting it out before you even getting it out. So there's such a confirmation. The Lord of heaven's army is among us. Wow. That's good. You said, so that's what your mind does from the sermon. That's the producer in you. I'm saying one thing and God is showing you a motion picture.
Yeah. I see it. I see words.
You seeing with your ears.
Yeah. Very much. That's why I have to be very careful who I interact with and what I hear, because I ingest things to produce them. So
wait. You can't just run by that. You can't just, you ingest things to produce them. Wow. Well, you know, when you said that, what I heard was David said, thy words have I hid in my heart, that I might not sin against thee. To me, that's the same thing.
Yeah.
You get it? He ingests the word of God so he can produce what he needs to come up against the world production. There's a heaven production, what I hear you saying, producer, that is always inside each and every one of us. Ooh, somebody put a hashtag heaven's production. And we got heaven's producer with us right now. Beyond expectation production. Go ahead. What else you got?
Oh man.
There's something else that you really needed to say. I don't want people to miss out on it. Go ahead.
Oh man, that's you know, I think we covered a lot today. I've learned, I've learned that sometimes we just got to eat enough where we can fully digest it. If you feed too much, you run the risk of regurgitating things that no longer aid you. So, you know, I want people to really just leave thinking about some of the opportunities, think about some of the things that you find yourself passionate about, and just really apply it. Like, I can't say it enough that take a seed of sacrifice and put it towards something that can bring you a harvest back to your life. Everybody starts somewhere. One of the things that I always tell people that I live by is let your first one be your worst one. So you can always do something.
Say that one more time. Go ahead.
Let your first one be your worst one.
Okay.
So you can always do something the first time, but let it be the worst time you ever did that thing. So it doesn't matter if you're baking cakes. if you're making rendering a service, let the first time be your worst time. Not saying that it has to be bad, but just always improve. And that's the thing that I try to live by and strive by. And those things, if you take those mindsets, you really find out that you're making progress the way that God wants you to.
Wow. Let your first one be your worst one. That's good. Where did you get that from?
God, man.
Okay.
I remember I did a production and I was editing it and I just got really upset with myself. And the
always Lo always does something and he'll act like it's the worst thing ever. And I'm like, you did a really great job. And he was like, no. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, but
yeah.
And it's just because I see the things, like God shows me a vision of things. That's why I say I'm a catalyst for people. God, when people talk to me, I see the things that they need to do to piece things together and build it out to pretty much produce it. So when I'm hearing things, when I see it, if it doesn't go to the picture that I saw in my mind, I'm very hard on myself because I really want to nail the things that I see mentally and in my vision into the reality of what this world knows. So a lot of times, but then in that moment when I was really hard on myself, God said, hey, let your first one be your worst one.
Okay.
And,
wow.
There's
That's
always
good. I'm
improvement.
telling you, that is really, that's a good thing to grow on. It really is.
Yeah.
And it takes away from being so hard on yourself, because our God has unconditional love, and God takes that and he has us to turn it around pretty much for our good and for his good.
Yeah.
But your first one be your worst one. I see people putting it there. Deacon Marvin Graham there in Rocky Mount. Deacon, thank you for still being here. Said, Lo, when you get an opportunity, take a look at my website, Marvin's onestopshop.com. I need some marketing. And this is why I brought the producer on. Each and every one of you all, this is what his business is. This is what he's an expert in. I've seen it. I know he has produced all my stuff. So we definitely want you all to connect with him. So we want to make sure that you get a chance to get that, Alo.
Yeah.
Anybody else, if you got anything else in the area that Aloysius has been calling, we love you to connect with Beyond Expectation Production. We've had the producer with us today. I think there was one other thing that I wanted to add. Yeah, everybody's putting hashtag Heaven's Production, and then you start talking about production. You said, I asked you, where did you get that comment from? You said God gave it to you, and it just felt right in place with Heaven Production. God is always producing something in us that would allow his will to be done down here on earth. Lord, let your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. You got it? So that's what Heaven Production is all about. And that's what Beyond Expectation Production is always all about. Making that you get what heaven has in you come out in this world with all the stuff that's going on. But God said there's heaven in you waiting to produce something in the midst of things that don't look like things can happen. And that's what you always do. And I appreciate you for that website, my CD project, what you do behind the scenes. But I say behind the scenes, but always in front of the scene, because we look good because of that. That's what I would say. Thank God that my daughter peeped in. I didn't know she was going to come because she hates to talk. But we also going to do a father-daughter thing. I heard the Lord as we were sitting there just saying it doesn't just have to be in that area, but people need to see those divine connections right now. There are daughters out there that are hollering for father's love.
Yeah.
And I just heard that in my spirit. So we're going to have to bring you back for that. And maybe the producer can come back and step in on that. Put it up to him. And then you told me you have some great things planned for God's Hotspot, more production that you're bringing forth. And what people see here, God's Hotspot with Pastor Carlton McCarter. This is part of his production right here. And you got some other things that we're going to be doing. Okay.
Yep.
Well, all right. Unless y'all got something else, let me go through my comments. This has been great. Oh, wait. Aretha, I'm sorry. Aretha Wake says, Say Does Comedy. Let me see. Say Does Comedy is my son. Say Does Comedy is my son's YouTube page. He's 21. He's 21 years old, starting out with clean comedy. He needs some pointers on how to edit and capture more audience. This is what I brought him for.
Yeah, tell them
Yeah.
to hit me up. We actually one of the segments we created was a thing called the Comedy Cafe, where it's clean comedy because shout out to my brother-in-law Jarek. We started the J-Lo show
Yeah.
because there was a lack of clean comedy. And if you ever watch the J-Lo show, our little jingle says it's the J-Lo show, J-A to the L-O show, bring you clean and pure comedy. You can watch it all with your family. Got you laughing, acting up, you know, sharing and subscribing, supporting us, because we wanted to bring comedy that family could just sit down and watch. So if he has a clean comedy platform, there's definitely things that we can plug him into to help him get his you know, comedy out, because it is a little tricky, because a lot of times people think that if you aren't cussing or vulgar that you can't be funny, and that's not true.
Right.
So
And Aretha, I hope you're still up here. You usually stay until the end. I scroll back down and well up, and I saw your comment, and I meant to go back to it. So I thank you for that. So if people want to contact you one more time, producer, how can they do that?
you can, if they're on Facebook, they can contact me. You can look me up, Aloysius Ballard. I'm on all platforms pretty much as Aloysius Ballard, or you can go to my website, aloysiusballard.com, or even my Beyond Expectations Productions.com. All the websites, all the things are there. It's not hard to find. There are not a lot of brothers out there named Aloysius Ballard. So you can look
You're the only one I know.
and my nephew. And I have to tell him to make sure he keep his nose clean so don't nobody think I'm my ass.
We got to ask your mom one day. How did you give him this name, Aloysius?
Yeah, man. She found it in her name book. It just stood out to her. I
Okay.
said, I thought she put a little more prayer or something into it, but it wasn't deep. She said she saw it in the book and thought it was pretty.
Well, you know what? I personally, I think she named you well. Got
Yeah.
that? Catch that revelation.
I
Okay.
got you, Doc. You know, I catch everything, man.
That's what the producer does. Well, this has been God's Hotspot Day 154. God is judge. And we're so grateful for the producer and his lovely wife, my daughter, Jamina Ballard, that showed up on the scene. You all are truly a blessing, man. God's got just great and phenomenal things planned for you all. You can just see favor oozing all over you. I know people say that a lot, but it's just so much more in you. And I'm excited about it. I pray God will keep me around at least 120 years.
Yeah,
So I can just sit back. Someday I want to just sit back in the chair and enjoy the fruit of my labor and say, y'all keep doing what you're doing. I'm loving it. And to God be the glory. Well, I think that is a wrap.
Yeah.
God bless each one of you all in the hotspot. Cannot wait to see you in the hotspot on Monday. You don't want to miss those that are tapped Morningstar Victory, and for you all that can watch the teaching tomorrow. I'm teaching again Beyond the Mask, but tomorrow teaching, God showed me something real special. It's going to be My House is Blessed. You don't want to miss this. My house is blessed, and to God be the glory. And in the words of the late great Bishop R.T. McCarter, my dad, and I love him dearly, can't nobody do you like Jesus.
Yes,
God bless you, hot spotters.
Bye, everyone.
See y'all.
Thank you again. And look, remember, if you were blessed, go ahead, cash out, $sign Aloysius Ballard. Be a blessing to him, and I appreciate that.